The race is about to start. Everyone is hyped up, waiting to see what's going to happen and who's going to win today's race. And now the anticipation is building more and more. And finally, the green flag waves! And your driver's race is over in the first few laps. You ever have a moment like that? I have a few times, actually. And I'm pretty positive that if your favorite driver of all time has appeared in this video, odds are you pretty much have too. This countdown is about some of the most unbelievable things that have happened within the first couple laps of the race. In fact, I'm positive a majority of these, if not maybe all but one of these, if I'm not mistaken, was on lap 1. Yeah, those kind of events. So these lap 1 or 2 or 3 fails. That's the subject of today's video. This is Top 10 Countdown. Well, that was a great damn start. Moments.
43 cars ready to take the green flag. Jamie McMurray and Robbie Gordon will take them there. Thanks for having us in for the race on TNT.
So let's start this fail-tacular countdown with everybody's favorite coward, Matt Kenseth. On the end of the first lap of the 2007 Toyota SafeMart 350, he basically caused a collision between him, Kyle Petty, and one of the road racers, which ended up turning into one of the most infamous moments in TNT's broadcasting history.
Oh, we were just watching this earlier. There's Kyle's back there.
Kenseth.
91 car.
The Goosens.
Oh, there's a lot of damage on the left rear of Kyle's car as well. There's that left rear fender is tore up pretty big.
Gordon continues to lead. Earnhardt Jr., who has not had a lot of success here, runs second. Go back and see if we can take a look.
Oh, wow. Kenseth just dove on the inside of Kyle, and I don't think Kyle had any idea he was there.
On board with Kyle Petty.
I mean, Kyle had no clue that Kenseth was down on the inside.
What the fuck was that? Caution is out. We apologize for that language.
The 2010 Kroger 200 arguably had the most infamous rage quit in the history of my racing buddies after her driver got involved in an opening lap incident. Keep your eye on the Great Clips car.
It's the 29th consecutive year that they've run a nationwide race here at O'Reilly Raceway Park, and we are underway at ORP.
Boy, pretty clean start so far. Look at Jason Leffler's car, guys. A lot of damage. It's destroyed already. First corner, and it looks like we had a pileup out of Leffler's 38 car.
Just a reaction situation where he got collected, the restart scrambled, mid-pack on, and he suffered for it.
Leffler staying on the track. I'm wondering how his vision is at this point as he's trying to maybe find a way off track. As you see Trevor Baynes still leading the way as it's started to filter out a little bit with Stephen Wallace charging here in the early laps.
Yeah, pretty good start except for Jason Leffler. I mean, we got a feel for him. He's had a lot of problems this year, but he's had fast cars all year long. And Vince, to start the race and wipe this car out in the first corner, has got to be an unbelievable feeling for Jason and this entire team.
At a track where he has had success, to add insult to injury.
And it looks like the 12's got some damage on the front end. The 20 of Matt DiBenedetto has some as well. So seeing on the replay here, they just stacked them up on the outside. Keselowski got in that as well, your points leader. So significant damage to the 38 of Leffler. We can see that's going to likely end any chances or hopes he had of winning. But
To complete the tale about the racing buddy rage quit, the Leffler fan of our group, Mirky, was so upset about what happened to her racer after her racer headed to pit road, as you'll see Our buddy went to the back room and watched the movie Ratatouille. She never returned to watch any of this race.
Take a look at Leffler. It looks like the radiator's not tore out of it, but he's having a hard time seeing it also. The 20 car, Matt D'Invento, he's tore up big time also. So a lot of problems in the early going. And wow, these short tracks and flats stack you up.
Rusty, they want to keep going and catch a caution and stay on the lead lap, but they're both going to overheat.
So Leffler pulls off. He's coming to pit road.
I mean, I can't believe this has got to be the worst it's been for Jason Leffler. This poor guy has been wiped out. Rick, what do you see down there, buddy?
You can see an awful lot of bent sheet metal. The question is how much damage has been done. Crews waving up into the top, saying it looks like it's too much damage to repair out here on pit road. And remember, they don't have the normal garage setup like they normally have in the back. As a result, they're going to have to go back into the center, but not where their transporter is, not with all their spare parts.
DW, let me tell you about a good feeling. Next time we come around over 190 miles per hour, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Get up on your feet in the suite. Here we come. Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing, boys. I don't think Bobby Jr. heard me.
Oh, don't worry, Daryl. Bobby Jr. did hear ya. His left rear tire didn't, though. And actually, the 2005 Golden Corral 500 was disrupted by something else.
Trouble back straight away. Car around.
So
that was Bobby Labonte's second week in a row.
A lot of cars around. That's
Jeff
a
Gordon,
huge
the 24,
wreck.
Matt Kenseth in the 17. Remember, this
They're
is what
still
happened to
wrecking.
Bobby Labonte early in the race at Las Vegas.
They're still wrecking back there.
Kurt Busch, our points leader in the 97 car.
And just like yesterday, we don't get through the first lap here.
That started off at turn 2, and I tell you what happened. Bobby Jr. got up on the outside there, and I can't remember. I can't tell you who had the lift, but that's what bottlenecked these guys up.
It's Kyle Petty in the 45 car came into Atlanta, 16th in points, and look at Jeff Gordon.
At a track where aerodynamics is so important. Oh, and a really tough break for Shane Meal, who had a superb qualifying run, and it has gone for naught. Steve?
Right before the green flag, Mike Joy, Bobby Hamilton Jr. was concerned that he had a flat left rear tire. A flat left rear tire. That may have been the culprit here.
He does, Steve. We can see it on the monitor. And he was up on the outside over there, and he and someone got together off of 2, and that's what started that.
Casey Mears, there's Bobby Labonte.
And remember, Mike, you showed in the beginning in the points, Bobby Labonte's not even in the top 35 right now.
Well, it's Casey Mears that got loose first.
I think that really started a little further up with those guys reacting to what they saw.
For Bobby Labonte, though, who has won here 6 times, and that Joe Gibbs number 18, it is a second straight week of frustration. Scott Riggs may have got in the back of
He got into the back of Casey Kane and turned him right there, and here they go. But again, I believe Casey may have lifted because of what happened in front of him. Jeff Gordon doesn't make really hard contact, although he does make contact.
Dave Blaney squeaked through. There's Matt Kenseth 17. Travis Quaffle got it twice. And there Labonte comes to a halt right in front of Jeff Burton.
97 car, minor damage, I would think.
You're riding with Jeff Burton.
Very low. Got a spin in front of you. Get down low if you can. Easy, easy. A lot of smoke. Can't help you a lot. Easy through here. Easy through. Easy through. Got them piled up in front of you.
Easy means easy.
Kyle Busch, followed by Carl Edwards. Kevin Harvick is in third. Oh, we've got a crash coming down now to turn number 4. The 41 car of Chrissy Wallace, making her Nationwide Series debut, has hit the wall hard.
The 2010 Drive for COPD 300 is most known for being Danica Patrick's NASCAR debut, but it was also Chrissy Wallace's NASCAR Nationwide Series debut. And obviously, it did not go well.
Window net down means that Chrissy is A-OK, but the car is definitely not.
It looks like Chrissy gets loose, real loose right there, and just
overcorrects, gets into the outside wall.
Yeah, she had a car right on her bumper. Looked like Paul Menard, who was right on her bumper. That'll really free you up. And in her defense, she hasn't had a lot of time this week. They had some problems getting the car through inspection, and then she didn't get a lot of time either day with the car, and especially in race trim.
And the laps we saw her run, that car was out of control. Looks like it's not much better here. I mean, she just really got loose off turn 4. Those bumps are really upset the car when you're on the bottom.
Yeah, and we should point out it wasn't Chrissy out of control. The car just looked evil.
Yeah, the car just, every time we saw it, it looked like it wanted to go. That is out of mind of its own.
Well, looks like it had a mind of its own right there.
Beautiful day for racing. Crowd estimated at approximately 70,000 on hand here as the flag is waved by Carl Simmons and Mike Harwood as we're set for 200 miles of racing action.
So let's go back to the 1993 Detroit Gasket 200. This is actually the only race in this countdown where the incident was on lap 2 and not lap 1. This race featured 2 young racing stars making their NASCAR debuts. One of them being the late Casey Elliott, the nephew of NASCAR Dozen member Bill Elliott, the other being a local racer who would also become a NASCAR Dozen member, but also had the most inauspicious debut in NASCAR history.
Mark Martin has picked up where he left off before. One car spinning, the car number 41.
Johnny Benson. As a car takes a roll as it slid backwards, apparently the air just picked the back end of it up and around and rolling over. Here they come back to the start-finish line. Mark Martin will lead them to the start-finish line.
Caution being shown for the first time today. A violent crash out of turn 2. The young driver, Johnny Benson Jr., driving the car number 41, 30 years of age, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. A couple hours away from here, driving a Delco Remy Chevrolet. It's a car owned by Ernie Irvin. Here again is what happened.
Well, it looks like he might have been tagged by a car, Jared. There was a pack of cars running together, and then it gets backwards, and you see the spoiler sticking up there. The air gets under it and lifts the back end up, and then it just starts rolling over in the grassed area on the backstretch here at the Michigan International Speedway. Fortunately, it does not get over into that guardrail, but that's a pretty serious-looking crash because it lands on its wheels.
And now it is time for my own personal experience in the, well, that was a great damn start, category featuring NASCAR Dozen member Andy Houston at the inaugural Chicagoland Cup race, the 2001 Tropicana 400.
Trouble. Andy Houston doesn't go in the middle of the field. Everybody avoids him.
Also keep in mind that Chicago is the place where the world headquarters for Andy's primary sponsor in 2001, McDonald's, is located.
Andy Houston has turned his car off the racetrack at pit exit. He'll be okay. Will stay under green. Todd Bodine will lead lap 1.
Not sure, Andy probably broke something when that green flag dropped, Benny. I don't know, probably something in the driveline, transmission. Something happened right there when the green flag dropped.
Schrader's back to 17th spot. He started 12th. Andy Houston had problems on the start. Marty, what happened?
Well, the car just did not go, Alan. They brought it behind the wall. When the crewman looked underneath it, he said the drive shaft is gone. They should be able to fix that, but he's going to be a long time behind the wall.
There's Houston.
And yes, there's an even worse way to christen a brand new racetrack. What is worse than a drive shaft mysteriously disappearing from one of the cars? This incident during the inaugural Texas race, the 1997 Interstate Batteries 500.
Dale Jarrett through the gears and jumping out in front.
Well, you can see everybody trying to get in single file. Right at the first of the race, there's a lot of debris on the racetrack, a lot of sand. Trouble. Turn 1.
Big crash in the center of the field. Collecting 2, 3 cars as they broke away that have really been hammered, several others involved.
Caution is out, but Jarrett and Gordon want to win the first lap, lead the first lap here at the Texas Motor Speedway, but the caution is out, so they won't race that hard. They know that there's trouble down in turn 1, so Jarrett will lead. As they came across the start-finish line, watch this silver car on the outside. That's Darrell Waltrip. The black car is Dale Earnhardt, and we're going to freeze it right here. See, those cars make contact right there, just barely, not much. Now we'll move the tape on forward, and we'll see what happens, buddy.
Well, you can see Darrell giving a little bit of room. He gets on the high side of the racetrack, and he says, I don't want to be out here. I need to get back in traffic. He did not see Johnny Benson on the inside. He tries to get back on the bottom part of the racetrack, contact, and watch the cars behind him.
See, Earnhardt gets into the back of the 30 car, and then is that Bill Elliott's car that gets involved there as well?
Let's go down to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, thanks, Ken. Darrell is overlooking the work here on the Parts America car. According to Ned and Buddy upstairs, they seem to think it started between you and Earnhardt. What do you think?
No, Benson. Actually, Benson's the one. I got down in there and I had an opening there. Benson looked like he didn't get a good start or something. And I was going to fall in front of Dale. We kind of talked about it. But they didn't go very good, so I went on down. I got to the first turn. A great opportunity to drop to the inside in front of Benson as I started in, and I was in the groove. I don't know if he went on the apron or what he did, but I'm pretty sure he's the one that turned me around. At least I think he was. I got yellow paint on my car, so I'd say he probably was.
4 years later in the 2001 Protection 1400, the inaugural Kansas Cup race, the exact same thing happened. This race had different memories for my buddies and I. For Merke, her favorite driver won the pole. For me, it was one of my guys' last ever Cup start. And for Meredith, aka C. Natwood, it was well, that was a great damn start race.
Oh, trouble, turn one. Casey Atwood spins.
Ricky Craven has spun.
Andretti damaged. Yellow-nosed car. Benny, you talked about it at the very beginning of our pre-race show. The race was going to be the race to get to the bottom in turn one on lap one.
And here we've got the 5th place starter spinning at John Andretti. I know they had high hopes for that STP, the 43 car today. Oh, man. And Ricky Craven talked to Cal Wells just a few minutes ago. He said, today could be our day.
Jimmy Spencer also coming down pit road. Let's take a look at what happened. Turn one, lap one.
Something happened to the car in front of Casey Atwood.
It's that Stacy Compton that was right in front of him.
I wonder if Casey got in the back of Stacy Compton, and when he jumped off the gasoline because he had gotten in the back of him. Let's see if we can see. There we see Casey on the inside. Oh, yeah.
Yep, there's definitely some contact there. He just got in the left rear quarter panel with Stacy. John had nowhere to go.
Stacy thought Casey'd give him room and went for the bottom of the track.
Yes.
In the drivers' meeting,
Johnny Benson watches this and somehow gets by before the 19 car of Casey Atwood backs up the racetrack.
Oh, it's on board John Andretti's car.
Now you'd expect unpredictability, carnage, and mayhem during the All-Star race. Not the race before the All-Star race like it did in 2004.
Boogity, 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 boys! Let's go racing! Oh, here didn't get up to speed, gets turned around, and we got all kinds of cars spinning. Kerry Earnhardt. Oh, they're all going all to pieces. It's about 10 cars or a dozen cars.
Now, as they came to the green, as they came to the line, something happened with the target number 41 of Casey Mears, and he got totally jacked up by the car that started fourth, Jeremy Mayfield, lifting the rear wheels of Mears' car off the ground. And behind that, everybody ran for cover and could find none.
Guys, I don't know. I'm trying to count cars. 25 cars started this race. I'm seeing about 13 or 14 that has pulled away with no damage.
Matt Yoakum, what happened?
Mike, he came on the radio and told Andy Graves and his crew chief Jimmy Elledge, when I was starting to go through the gears, it just all came apart. Transmission.
It all came apart all right. Watch 77 Brendan Gaughan get Spencer, who got Rudd, who then got hit by Sauter. Earnhardt turned around, hit Burton. Got all that?
Yeah, and there goes Morgan Shepherd sliding down through there.
Yeah, I mean, when you got 12 and a half rows
41
of cars,
comes back and gets, looks
and
like the
look
4
down
car.
here at the bottom. The two fellows who had to go to the tail end of the field for penalties, made out.
Paid off.
Imagine that. Now fans are voting. Well, let's have another look here. That's in the middle of the pack.
Watch that 41 car. He bounces off the outside wall. Now watch him. He starts going backwards. Spencer sitting down there has no damage. The 41 backed into Spencer and knocked the fire out of his car.
There's how it all starts.
Yeah, and look at that. He's jacked up off the ground.
Turned around.
Here comes Rudd into the wall now. This 41 gets turned around again. He'll go backwards, and then he'll go across the track, and Spencer is sitting down here on the apron. See him up there in the 4 car. Now watch this.
Oh.
Bam.
Well, Jimmy Spencer was just caught up with Jimmy Spencer, who was on his way to the garage. You're smiling. What a crash.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad crash. I guess somebody broke a transmission or something. That's the only thing that could happen on a start of the race. If not, there was a dumb idiot up there or whatever pushed somebody, but tore the 4 car pretty bad. Had a really good car. But that's the shortest race that I can ever remember being in. Shortest race. I don't think we went 1,000 feet, so not a good night. Not going to be in the next event, and that sucks. And just sucks, man.
Saturday Night Racing.
Alright, so the race before the Ulster race had a little bit of a hiccup that year. Luckily, the Ulster race itself has never had a very bizarre opening lap accident. Oh, wait.
And Steve Park, boy, real loose on the start, almost spun.
Bunch of guys did. Jeff Burton got in the back of Tony Stewart and turned him sideways. Oh, car sideways. All the cars are loose down in the corner. The track is wet. It's Gordon, Michael Waltrip, Kevin 29 car. All these cars are wrecking because I believe it might be raining down there.
And the rain is coming even harder.
Oh, for Pete's sake. What a way to start this event.
For some drivers, what a way to end it.
Unbelievable.
They waved the green flag. The sky opened up. Harvick, shower of sparks up in turn 3. And now it's pretty well pouring here in Concord. There is Kevin Harvick's damaged car.
Number 1 in this countdown is the 2002 Pennsylvania 500. It's a multi-layer story starting with this.
We're in a bit of a hurry-up situation here. We could be green in less than 30 minutes. It started raining here at Pocono about 9:15 this morning, and it rained for an hour. It's rained on and off since then, but really no heavy rain in the last 45 or 50 minutes. So we could be going green here shortly. So stand by.
We are set to go. The rain is held off. The crowd is on its feet. 200 laps, 500 miles here at Pocono. Let's get them started.
So just like Weber said, roughly about 30 minutes after he made that announcement, the race started. That's all well and good. Just one problem. There was more rain on the way, so everyone had to get this race done as quickly as possible. And then this happened.
Oh, trouble. Steve Park is off into the infield. Another car valve over on his lid. It's Parkindale Jr. Terrible crash.
Man, Steve Park's car just turned dead left when he came off turn 2. Junior's running to see his teammate and see if he's okay.
And getting off into that wet grass wasn't going to do anything to slow those cars down. Caution is out. Ricky Rudd will lead the field back to the yellow. You can see Park moving inside the car, looking through the back glass. He's trying to get himself unwrapped around the roll bars to get out.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. still there.
And it's real easy, especially on the first lap coming out of 1. You know, you got cars 2 and 3 abreast, and if you slide up the racetrack, we talked about earlier.
There's Steve coming out of there.
There he is.
There we go.
Good sign. That's what we wanted to see. Anyways, what happens is you slide up the racetrack, and you can hit somebody in their left rear as you slide up the racetrack with your right front. And that's almost what it looked like. That one car just turned dead sideways.
Well, what a great shot that is. Teammates walking away from a crash like that, arm in arm. Rusty's right in the middle of the racetrack. Steve Park's going down the outside, but Rusty decides to come up to the outside line, not realizing that Steve was there. They made contact, and the ride is on.
Look at that barrier give. Thank goodness.
But again, that's one reason that Steve was able to walk away arm in arm with Dale Earnhardt Jr. because of that wall that did give.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
We are under the red flag here at Pocono. You see the field has been parked on pit road. Ricky Rudd, the leader, the first car on line there, but the race will be stopped so that repairs can be effected to that inside guardrail between turns 1 and 2 where Steve Park and Dale Earnhardt Jr. crashed. Fortunately, the guardrail gave. No question that helped the severity of the crash, but now it's going to need to be repaired before racing can safely be resumed once again.